Hi and welcome to my pumpkin tutorial. I load my brush with paint and you just lay the paint in the direction of the pumpkin picture or live pumpkin you're looking at. You dip your watercolor brush in water and then you just dab it on your paper towel so that you don't have too much water, because too much water will create a mess. So, and if you did not put down enough paint, you can just wet the whole area, pick up a little more paint and lay it down in there. And definitely work with it while it's still wet, and that will give it that nice soft look. Just keep referring to your pumpkin picture or the live pumpkin in front of you. And you just want to, after you lay down that thicker color, that darker color, you always want to rinse your brush so that it's softer, because your darker colors are representative of the shadows, those deep ridges in the pumpkin, and this will give it a more realistic look as opposed to just a flat orange pumpkin. You just keep dipping it in the water to soften it and lighten it. And also, as you're using your orange paint, you want to make sure that you mix your orange paint with a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, and you just get a more natural looking orange as opposed to a really bright orange. You could also achieve this by using just red paint and yellow and red and yellow. If you do use red and yellow, add a little blue or a little green, just a touch, to give it a more natural looking. Oh, look at me there. What am I doing? Oh my word. The cat wanted me to play with him, so I went and fetched his toy. So I think I come back here and keep going. If not, I'll cut some of this out. Sorry about that. While we're waiting, you can mix some more color. I just want you to know this is my very first actual tutorial, so it's pretty rough and I apologize for that. If you see the green, I forget what this is called, but this is actually amazing. You have water, but then those ridges, so you can get rid of some of the water on the ridges. And then that white thing I use is really good for mixing color. And since I'm new at this, I don't have links to products, but I will say that white thing came with something I ordered for my cat. It was like wheatgrass, and it was the container that so any plastic, white, I always use white so I can really see the color. All I'm doing here is taking you want to get that nice brown by mixing your orange, green, and yellow together, or your red, yellow, and blue together, so that the colors are consistent. And then just lay in the darkest parts and soften it with a nice, a brush that's been dipped in water but then dabbed out so it's not too watery. And then really you're just kind of repeating that for the stem, because your stem is neutral colors, which you get by blending the colors that you use for the pumpkin together. And the reason why I always use, I'll use a yellow and a red and a green, but mix them together slightly just to give it a more natural look. And once you lay down this first layer of color, you can always go back and brighten the orange if you need to, which I believe I do on this pumpkin. But I'm just doing some detail of the brown stem and then softening it with a wet brush that's not too wet. And then that green thing, I'm gonna look and see. It doesn't, oh wait, no, it does have a name. What is it? What does it say? You know what, message me or comment on this video and I will post a link to the green thing. I just bought it from an art store in Arizona. It's really hard to find good art products now because in Texas where I live, There's only Hobby Lobby, which is great for a lot of things, but not those like actual real artist thing. Like I feel like once you're really doing this and like selling work and stuff, like you've gone through so many different products that you know exactly what you need. And I feel like there's more professional stuff at like a real art store. Sorry, Hobby Lobby, I love you for many reasons, but professional grade watercolor products are not one. Although these watercolors actually are from Hobby Lobby. That's so funny. And I actually do have, it's a watercolor half pan set, Master's Touch, that I got from Hobby Lobby, which is so great because you can wait until it's like 50% off and you can get it for $25 as opposed to $50. So if you can see there, I mixed up some brighter orange, and I'm just going in with a nice squirrel hairbrush and fake squirrel, not real squirrel, and laying down the color. And then anything that needs to be softened, you just dip your brush in the water and dab it out on the paper towel, and then it softens it. Here I'm laying in those dark browns, swish, swish, dab, dab, and start to pull it down. Hopefully you can watch this on a fast forward speed like 2 times because I'm slow. In real life, I'm so slow. And now that I'm doing these tutorials, like I guess I'll learn as I go. But this one's kind of slow. So you're really seeing me work the color. And it's just so nice to lay in color when it's wet, when the paper's wet, because it just gives it a softer look. I'm going to see if I can speed this up. Actually, I'm just going to leave it. I'll just let you watch for a while. Do. Make sure you're looking at your live pumpkin or your picture for reference of where the shadows are and where the brighter colors are. It just makes it look more realistic when you look at your reference. Once you take your eyes off your reference, it really just, you start using the opposite side of your brain. You start using your left brain, and your left brain is just going to tell you, it's a pumpkin, it's a pumpkin. And when you think of a pumpkin, you just think of orange, right? An orange, round, or misshapen thing. But in order to switch to your right brain, which is what you need to make good art, you turn off your left brain and you stop thinking about what you're painting and you just start thinking about what you're seeing. And you're just, all you're thinking is color, shadows, tone, and you're not thinking pumpkin. And so you're able to see with a more realistic eye, or you're able to paint more realistically, not see realistically. That's why when you watch like professional artists, they're usually not looking at their paper or their painting. They're usually looking at their subject. That's what gives you a more realistic look. I hope you guys will comment questions because I would love to answer questions or find out more details of what type of tutorials you guys are looking for. We can do more pumpkins if you want because they are really fun. I'm actually going to make a pumpkin flowers with legs soon. I can video that so you guys can see the process. Yeah, any art supplies that you're wondering about, just comment or message and I will send you details. Look at that. I feel good about it. So as you can see, that pumpkin looks very different than that pumpkin. Kindergarten versus college or high school. Okay, that's it. Thanks for coming. See you soon.